Welcome to the Acquired Taste Podcast. We are back. It's your boy Dirty D.
It's your boy Tech Daddy.
And Queen Bee.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
I've healed from all the mental and emotional abuse I suffered from the last episode. I think I'm finally okay now. Thanks for that, Charlie. I've gotten over it. I'm a new man now.
I can't wait to hear this.
It was just me getting yelled at for 2 hours.
So excited.
Yeah, pretty much about how just idiotic you were. Yeah, it gets pretty bad.
Yeah,
it gets pretty bad. But at least this week we're back with actual some more other history. Mm-hmm. Because we had a little sidetrack with the Star Wars episode. It was May the 4th when we recorded that though. So,
yes, it was.
You know, but we're so far ahead. Like I talked to Ben, he was like, "Hey man, when's that episode coming out?" I'm like, "Is it this week?" I'm like, "No, it's next week, dude."
Yeah.
It's like you lied to me. I'm like, "Did I?"
You know.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, we were just so far ahead. We are so far ahead. This isn't coming out until like
we're on top of it, guys.
Yeah, this has been great. It's because of the constant support and people also being mad as fuck at us when we don't do it on time.
Yeah,
the guilt is real.
You know who you are.
Yeah, when we get texts like how come you guys didn't release an episode today? Or like,
right.
What happened?
Right. Like, did one of you guys die? If not, fuck y'all. So, we've been on top of it, thankfully.
Like, all you do is sit there and talk, because it's so hard.
little bit, sometimes.
Damn, now I'm just hurt.
Sometimes, I think we went over the numbers a while ago when we were, 15 episodes in of, how many hours we've actually talked.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do that again when we hit, 60 episodes or something. Try to figure out how long you guys have actually listened to us. How many fucking hours
of our voices.
You'll never get that time back.
It's not a waste. It's not a waste. It's not a waste at all. So I also just realized that Charles used the microwaves. I'm like, I wonder if the microwaves would be in the audio now.
Oh, the beeping
might be a little beep
sound.
Yeah.
God damn it, Charlie.
That's all right. Tech Daddy grilled some food for us. A bunch of dogs, a bunch of burgers.
Yeah, I thanks to Diamond, shout out to Diamond real quick. She forced my hand on buying a new grill. Mm-hmm. I'm a really good cook, and especially when I'm grilling some shit. So it's
Those burgers were fire.
I try. And it's sad because I haven't had a grill in almost a whole year. And she was like, "You spent all this money on vacations. Why don't you buy a new grill?" I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I ended up buying one, built it, then I'm we're already here recording. I might as well make something to eat, because who am I?
I was starving when I got here.
I ate 3 burgers and a fucking hot dog.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I had 2 burgers and a dog. So I'm gonna eat when you guys leave, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have some chips, a little dog, lay on the couch. But anyway, so yeah, like I said before, we're going back to history again. We're going back into what we're good at.
Yeah, and this one's going to be super. This is definitely a super, super good topic.
So part of what we're doing is DJ brought this up a while ago that he wants to start doing more about Japan, more about that culture. Mm-hmm. So obviously we did an episode. What was that? Two episodes ago.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
About the island of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. Something that's really, at least pop culture wise, well known because of the movie, or I'm sorry, the video game. They're making a movie for it, though. I'm sorry. So I was thinking about that because they are making a movie for it. The director from John Wick, I think, is directing it. That's dope. So it's probably gonna be pretty good. I hope at least do the island some more justice there. But so we're gonna keep with that theme. But as always, DJ has a question for us, so we're gonna jump into that.
Yeah, I do, and we kind of discussed it a little bit before this, and we had to save it because it was a really good topic.
Yeah, I was gonna dive into a whole history thing about that before, a little prequel, if you will.
Yeah, we were about to get into a really good conversation, and then
wait a minute,
we should probably be recording.
We probably record this, right? It's already late anyway, so it's we should get going. Anyways,
so what's your favorite? I don't know if I should say kung fu character, but let's say fighting character. You think of a Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan. Who's the other one? Tony Jaa. That one. Oh, I forgot about fucking Tony Jaa.
Dude, yeah, The Protector.
Yeah, The Protector. On Bach. Oh my god.
That first one was so fucking hard.
Wow, dude. When he does that fucking knee thing, when he tucks his legs back.
Oh, dude, that was so tight. The fact that Wu-Tang came out with like a soundtrack for that movie, it was like a special edition of it, just proves how dope that movie was.
Yeah, really good. But what's your guys' favorite one? Who's your favorite
my favorite martial art movie martial artist.
Yeah. Steven Seagal.
Dude, with all you know how much I hate him. You know how much
I think everybody hates him.
Stand that man. And he won't sit his fat ass down.
He just keeps talking.
He keeps fucking doing movies.
He keeps doing like he goes to like people's like dojos and does like instructional shit where he's just literally like doing like these weird elbow fucking taps and slapping
He's doing
people.
Tai Chi essentially at this point. And instead of like being at the part with all the old fucking people, he's doing it in fucking gyms because people still respect his name for some fucking reason.
Yeah, like
don't get me wrong, I wouldn't go back in the 80s and talk shit to the man. I will now.
I don't even think they set it up. Like he just shows up and they're like, "Is that Steven Seagal?"
Right.
And then he's just like, "I'm Steven Seagal and I've been doing kung fu for 68 years."
Remember when he was a cop?
Oh, he was a police officer. Didn't he have a TV show about that?
Yeah, he did.
Fucking A.
Yeah, he's the reason why we have fucking radios, because his fat ass ain't gonna chase nobody.
I love when Tom Segura makes fun of him because he's like, "I'm Steven Seagal. I've been being a police officer for 97 years." Like he does everything and he has like 80 years experience and everything.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, look at the man's face. It's like you're
glasses.
It's like trying to wrap leather around a fucking plastic skeleton.
Whoa.
I hate this man. Like I really do. Like in my heart of hearts. Like so angry. I remember someone was like, "You wouldn't say this to his face." I'm like, yes, the fuck I would.
Yeah, I would.
Like, yes, I would.
Fuck him.
This was like years ago. This was like at least 10 years ago when this happened.
Somebody get us in touch with Steven Seagal immediately.
Like he specializes in like a dead martial arts. Like what he like specializes in isn't even like relevant nowadays.
And neither is he. Here the fuck we are talking about his ass.
Yeah.
Bitch ass. Anyways.
So, favorite.
Yeah, so my favorite, though, jeez, because there's so many good ones. There's so many good picks. I mean, like you mentioned Donnie Yen, one of my, was one of the greats. Of course, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. I mean, like there's so many. Michael Jai White. Many good martial arts out there. But I'm going to go back. I'm taking this one back to the back of the day. Gordon Liu.
Ooh.
Gordon Liu's my guy.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
No shit. I forgot about fucking Gordon Liu.
Okay, how could you?
What the fuck, man? Yeah. You caught me off guard right there.
So Gordon Liu, for those that are not in the know, he was a director. He directed and starred in most of his movies that were from back in like the late 70s, early 80s. The dude's a fucking legend. One of the biggest, I guess, how do you say, like one of the biggest claims to fame that he has. I mean, the man made Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. Yeah. The Wu-Tang Clan literally got their name because of this man. Yeah. Like all the kung fu films they use in their music, even the videos on the albums come from him. Yeah. Like all of that shit.
And those were those like really authentic fucking kung fu movies, man. Just not a lot of fucking dialogue whatsoever.
Well, there was like the dialogue was always a little, a little hammy. Yeah. Like it had like the sound effects, the
lips keep moving and
it's so good. Like it was that era though, but he made it great. And I mean the dude was in God, it was Drunken Monkey, there was Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, there was one of my favorite titles, Dirty Ho, there was which is actually is like Dirty H-O. There was there's so many great movies with him. But one of the coolest things about him, and I'm trying to remember the movie title, I'm trying to find the movie title actually, because he was in Man with an Iron Fist with RZA, by the way. That was one of his newer movies. But he was in Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. So if you've ever seen the movies...
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
Right. Yep.
Holy shit.
He has a cameo in there and nobody caught it until like they saw the character. I think he was credited in it. And then like you see his character and like if you are a Kung Fu fan like from back in the day, you notice because it was the Clan of the White Lotus, I think it was called. Where the villain was this dude with his long white beard and the bushy white eyebrows.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a movie from the 80s. He portrayed that character in Kill Bill.
It's a very classic look. The eyebrows are like fucking.
Oh, it's over the top.
Yeah.
It's
really
over the
long,
fucking
white.
top.
He does like a fucking thing with his.
Because he
floats his shit.
he disrespects you, and then throws his shit. I mean, the dude had one of his early movies from 1978 was the 36 Chambers of Shaolin.
36 Chambers. Yeah.
I mean, the Wu-Tang's first album was Into the 36 Chambers. Like it all stemmed from this. Like it all comes back to Gordon Liu. And he's still, thankfully, he's still alive. But he's a phenomenal actor. Again, he was in Kill Bill. He was in Man with the Iron Fist. I don't think he acts anymore, though. I think he finally retired. I'm pretty sure. He's damn near 80. So.
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
No, I'm sorry. He's 67.
Oh, wow, really?
So,
no shit.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising, actually. He was born in 55. You know?
Wow, okay.
But it was, claim to fame was the 70s, 80s. So,
yeah.
That's pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, so that's my boy.
That's a solid one. Brandy, do you have anyone? I know you're not too familiar with the
Is like Karate Kid count?
Karate Kid. Well, what the fuck is his name? God, what is that actor's name?
Oh gosh,
Danny
Hang on.
something.
Oof.
It's a real fucking catchy name too.
Yeah.
Real smooth. Real smooth.
Goodness, man, that's gonna drive me nuts. I can't remember for some reason. Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel LaRusso was named
Billy
character.
Zappa.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
Right, because Billy Zapka. They have the whole the show come back out.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
You know, Cobra Kai was actually done pretty good. It still had that shitty like 80s value, but like they didn't butcher it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left it out pretty good. And those kids fuck each other up in that series. They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they did.
It's kind of brutal.
I never finished it though, but I did watch a good amount of it.
I think I didn't finish it either. I watched beginning of it.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. Right on. Not even a bad answer though. You know?
That's a solid one.
Yeah, I don't know. I the only time I ever saw any like kung fu movies was when it would be playing at like Three Floyds or something.
Oh yeah, like you walk into Beer Geeks and like
Beer Geeks.
playing something.
Yeah, so like I've just never seen any. Nothing against any kung fu movies, you know. I just don't have any experience.
I miss Wu-Tang Wednesdays.
Yeah, me too, man. That's a bummer.
For those that know what we're referring to, Wu-Tang Wednesdays at Beer Geeks back when that was still a place. They had ramen bowls. They had ramen bowls.
Ramen was so good.
It was decent. It was bad decent.
Yeah.
It was that. They had kung fu movies playing on the TVs, which were again the era that I'm referring to with Gordon Liu. A lot of those movies were playing, and then nothing but Wu-Tang playing on the speakers. It was just
all day. It was amazing.
The best of times. Perfect. They were the best of times.
Yeah, they were.
And now they're gone.
Yeah.
Can't have nothing nice.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I swear, anytime I like get attached to a place around here, it closes.
Yeah.
It's really depressing.
So, you get you get to know everyone there, you know.
You get like know the bartenders,
all the good service, all that stuff, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
So you know.
So if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with Jackie Chan, honestly, and I think that's kind of like a real like. You wouldn't think I would pick that, but when I was a kid, man, like I think I've mentioned this a few times. Back in the day, before it was Comcast, it used to be this company called TCI, and when you got their cable, you'd get like your the sports program and all this other shit. But they only had like 4 or 5 movie channels, which was Cinemax, Showtime, Stars, HBO, and did I say Showtime already? Maybe I don't know, but they only had those, and Stars would play the same 5 movies on repeat for a whole week. They would just be the same fucking movies, and Jackie Chan had a lot of fucking movies at that time. Yeah, and he does like everyone knows him from like Rush Hour and Drunken Master, and probably Rumble in the Bronx was probably the first one he got noticed just because of how.
Well, maybe in America,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, because that was the first time I seen him. Just because his movies were popping up. Because Jackie Chan's in his 70s now. He's
actually only 69.
Really?
Nice.
Nice.
I just looked it up before you started diving down that, so I could be in the know.
Yeah, because Jackie Chan's been connected with a lot of people over the years, especially in his younger years. But all of his movies he's done, like most kung fu guys that do movies, they do their own stunts. But Jackie Chan's were like little fucking extra, like Rumble in the Bronx was the biggest one because it was just him getting the shit beat out of him for like 2 fucking hours, getting tossed through windows, hit with bats, failed jumps from apartment buildings. They had the Rumble in the Bronx, the scene where he jumps from one apartment complex to another. They filmed that over and over and over again, and then he just fucking missed one time, and just his whole entire right leg was in a cast, but he kept filming, so they like painted the bottom of his cast to look like a shoe, so like it didn't like fucking look weird, which was very noticeable, you know.
Yeah, it was very noticeable.
And one of the best parts about Jackie Chan movies is at the end it would show all of the stunts gone wrong. That's what the credits were.
Yeah,
like,
the credits
were rolled, and the background was all the times he fucked up. And oh my god, there were scenes where like he had to like jump over like railings and he would miss and crack his head, or just just the most random paint, like imagine just stubbing your toe like for 18 hours a day for 3 months filming. Like that's what he was doing like all the fucking time.
Right. And it's great because like he was never formally trained in doing stunts. He just fucking did it.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I can do this, and he always had the like we mentioned before, always had the same stunt man. He, for the most part, had the same crew. Yeah. The same crew. Because like most of the movies, he had a bunch of really shitty ones. Like Who Am I? There was another one where like he had a twin brother. I don't remember what that was called. Just really shitty movie because he didn't like. He could speak English, but it was still to that point where a lot of the people we work with didn't. So it was still like the lip movement where like the words didn't match up. And he would always have these big, like, cronies that were always the bad guys. And it was always, like, the same 4 guys. And they were these white dudes that just beat the fuck out of him for however many years he was filming those movies.
Forever. I mean, because he started back in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was actually looking up his career just to see, like, when his movies were coming out. Because Drunken Master was one of my favorite movies it was in. It was an early movie of his. But that came out in 78.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know it was that. It doesn't even
look like it's that old.
It aged pretty well. Yeah. Actually, it aged pretty gracefully. But because I was thinking about like because he's in so many freaking movies, and not all of them were good.
No, yeah, there's like, and that's how I think I like it because I love B-rated movies. There's something about it I just can't get enough of.
I can get down with a good B-rated movie.
Oh, totally. Yeah, definitely. And like one of the ones that I absolutely hated from him was The Forbidden Kingdom. And I forgot about that. I forgot I hated that movie until I just saw it again.
Kingdom, I don't know.
It was more of a mythical, like about Chinese mythology about their. Oh God, what was his name? And I'm going to probably butcher all of this, so excuse me. The whole people of China, because
all of our Chinese listeners
about to fuck up this one. It was about I think it was like 3 different gods or something like that, and he was in it, and Jet Li was in it. And they, my memory serves, they didn't even fight for like more than a second, and it pissed me right the fuck off.
Damn, that's
because you have 2 of the greatest martial artists of all time, and they don't really fight each other. Fuck y'all for that one.
That's a bummer. Yeah,
keep that shit too. Steven Seagal in that movie.
Yeah, like Jet Li, I liked, but I only liked when he played a bad guy.
He was a great villain.
Yeah, he was
Rush Hour was a good example
Rush
of that.
Hour was the best, and there's another one where he was really just a mean ass fucking villain, dude. I don't know. He just does way better as a character.
Yeah,
like
I like him as villain. I can get behind that, actually, yeah. Oh, Shanghai Nights with him and fucking Owen Wilson.
Oh, Shanghai Nights. Holy fuck, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, some of these were misses. Some of these were misses. And then you have like a great Rumble in the Bronx and like the original Rush Hour, obviously. Police Story. Phenomenal movie.
Oh, Police Story.
Phenomenal.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
One of the greatest.
Uncle! All the fucking time.
Brady's just over here looking at us and smiling. She's like, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't want no trouble. All the fucking time.
That's it. That's every movie, though.
Every movie.
He never wants to fight anybody. He's just fucking, it's just there.
Don't touch my uncle, and I don't want to fight you.
Pretty much.
He fucking beats the shit out of
everybody, right.
It'd be like him in a supermarket, like just working his way through villains. 68 fucking villains in this for some reason because they have an endless supply of gangsters.
Yeah, pretty much wherever it is. Yep, yeah. Payroll is insane. But yeah, he's in a lot of movies. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be my top one just because for nostalgia purposes, and I've seen so many of them. And
totally.
Like I said, it was a cool thing to watch the credits and then all the failed fucking stunts and all that. So it was cool. Like you saw the bullshit in the movie, and then they gave you that extra thing in the end. It was like, all right, yeah.
DVDs used to do that all the time. They would have like bloopers at the end of the credits or during the credits.
Yeah, I do.
I miss that.
The behind the scenes selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good times.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to remember because I think it's Jackie Chan that has the thing with Mitsubishis, so that he always used Mitsubishi cars in his movies, and I think Mitsubishi made a car after him actually.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the Mitsubishi Evo Jackie Chan special. But yeah, it actually just it came, when it released, it was $77,000.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Damn, Jackie.
I don't think he had a choice.
Calm down.
I don't think he had a choice in that. Oh man, but yeah, like there's a whole thing about because he loves them. He always used them in his movies, and the Evo was a particular one that he really enjoyed. I think he even owns a bunch of them, if memory serves.
That makes sense because there's a lot of his movies that involve some pretty cool driving scenes and chase scenes, or him jumping out of a fucking vehicle.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he even owns it. He even owns a few rally cars from Mitsubishi too. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyways, just a little one-off that my brain remembered. I'm like, he has a thing with him with cars.
No, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Get the Jackie Chan edition of Evo. It's probably worth a lot of money, so I'm not.
Probably.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even attempt that. That's a bit much for me. Anywho,
wait, you gotta finish telling us about the conspiracy.
Oh yeah, so before we started recording, we actually were going over again like our favorite martial artists and what have you. And of course, you can't mention the greatest without mentioning Bruce Lee. I mean, he's
absolutely
gone before his time. Mm-hmm. But one of the things about Bruce Lee, because his son was also died on the set of The Crow.
Yeah, Brandon Lee,
when he got shot by what was supposed to have been a fake bullet. It was supposed to have been blank. It was loaded with a real bullet. He obviously died because of it, which always begs the question: why the fuck was there a real bullet on set, anyways?
Right.
But if it wasn't done on purpose,
I mean, but then there's the what's his name? Recently. Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Well, that whole scenario. Like, how does this happen?
Right.
You know?
What the fuck's wrong with you people? So
I feel like there's a person whose like whole job it is to make sure.
Yeah, the special effects person.
They're like, here's the real bullet and here's the fake one.
Why would there be a real one in the first place? That's the problem.
Keep bullets off the movie set.
Right.
We are in America, though, so.
You're right.
Anyway.
But, so the whole thing is, like, there's a conspiracy about, obviously, Bruce Lee being killed, possibly by the Chinese triad for, like, bringing the martial art to America. But the thing is, with Bruce Lee, his style was his own. So he learned, like, if you guys have ever heard of the movie Ip Man, or I think the Grandmaster was another one referring to the same person. The Grandmaster Ip Man was the martial arts that taught Bruce Lee the style of Wing Chun, which is what Donnie Yen uses when he's playing as Ip Man in all the movies. There's like 6 of them, I think.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
They're all good, though.
What's the style called?
Wing Chun. Yep. Anywho,
yeah, there's a song about that.
Oh god.
Yeah, because the same thing. Like David Carradine. If you guys don't know who that's Kill Bill. He was Bill.
Right.
And he kind of died in the same fucking fashion. They found him dead in a fucking hotel room.
Yeah, but wasn't he an auto asphyxiation thing going on with that?
He might have been banging some hookers in Bangkok.
Like a kinky thing?
I think he was beating his own meat.
Oh, like scarfing.
I think he might have been hanging himself and beating his meat in the closet when they found him.
But what a funny way to make a guy look like he killed himself. Like, what if they were doing it? They're like, wouldn't
that would be like, you know, it would be hilarious.
I mean, you raise a point. You raise a good point there. I'm not gonna lie. You do raise a good point.
Like, if you did the deed, like, what if they went to kill him and he was already fucking just beating the shit out of his dick? And they were like, smoking a cigarette over his dead body. They were like, it'd be pretty funny though if you did it.
So I grabbed Well, yeah, like, so the whole thing is because with Bruce Lee, when he died, it might have been, there's so many different theories that's what could have killed him. Because there's the one about him having his sweat glands removed. Which
I never heard that one.
Yeah, so medical procedure to get his sweat glands removed because he was such a perfectionist. He wanted his body to look perfect in every scene. So instead of having to be wiped off for scene, he remove his sweat glands to help him film, essentially. So there's a chance he might have. And when he died, it was also apparently like a massive heat wave. He was filming all day, and
like heat stroke, or
he might have died of heat stroke.
Yeah.
The other thing is he was poisoned, which because he got. Apparently, he was in the hospital twice, and the last time he went to the hospital was because of the same similar symptoms. But that time he lived. This time he died, so it might have been poison. They just didn't work the first time. The thing with his son is the weirdest one, though. because again, that was supposed to be a fake bullet. Why was there a real bullet on set?
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that?
And that was the thing that, like, with the theory, like, not only were they gonna kill Bruce Lee, but kill his whole, like, legacy.
Right, but they missed his daughter.
You know,
they definitely missed his fucking daughter.
Yeah.
So, cool thing about his daughter, who is still alive, she found this old journal of notes from Bruce Lee. So he was planning on making his own TV show at some point. He wanted to cover the story of Chinese immigrants in California during the Gold Rush era. So when the Chinese were second-class citizens, obviously, being horribly mistreated by people of America. Sounds familiar. Anywho, and it was
It sounds interesting though. Like,
oh yeah, totally. So he was writing the story. Actually, I'm getting to that part. Actually, it gets better. Oh yeah, we're on to one.
Okay.
And so what happened was his daughter found these notes and ended up making the TV show called Warrior. It's actually on HBO Max.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's 2 seasons of it.
Oh wow,
man! I got so much to watch when I get home.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah,
it's super good. It's also very heavily hip hop influenced. And my favorite anime of all time, Samurai Champloo, very hip hop influenced. This is very hip hop influenced.
That's dope.
It's so fucking good. It's so good. It's on HBO Max. And I think they're making a third season of it. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
But really good martial arts in it. There's boobs in it too. So hey, there's boobs. People getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Going pretty good.
I fuck with that.
Going pretty good. It tells a few different stories at once. They're all intertwined together, you know.
Hell yeah.
It's a really good show. You guys should watch it. But anyways, so yeah, they definitely missed his daughter on that one. But
good. I'm glad.
Yeah, the show's good. The kids are dead, and
Jeez.
we're gonna keep watching. So, anyways, we are gonna be talking. Like I said, we're going back to history. We're going to talk about Japan, though. We just talked about China for a while. Yeah, we're talking about Japan, though. Mm-hmm. The other part of the Orient.
Yeah, but we are going to talk about a particularly great man, who's, you know, I'm not going to compare him to any kind of fucking martial artist because it's a whole different realm of things. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was something you brought up when we first started it, and we've just been kind of sitting on it.
Never got back to it.
Yeah, just kind of waiting. But honestly, I'm so glad that we did. Now that we're just better at this.
True.
Because it's quite an interesting character, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, we have gotten better at this because apparently our first few episodes are a little rough.
A little rough.
I haven't listened to them.
A little rough. Yeah.
Huh.
Go back and listen to them.
I kind of want to go back and listen to them.
Yeah, everybody go back and listen to the first few episodes. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're going to be talking about Miyamoto Musashi. Or Musashi Miyamoto, depending upon how you want to.
Yeah, because the pronunciations is like different.
So like a cultural thing.
Yeah,
well, how to say the first name, last name first, first name. Yeah, like just the order of things. Mm-hmm. So Miyamoto Musashi, he was born in 1584. It's pretty cool. It's a long time ago. So now, just to put into a little bit of context here, so Japan was going through a lot. And I feel like people talk about like China, like obviously the War of the Three Kingdoms, infamous, infamous within history, especially even in pop culture, something that's very, very commonly used as a trope for a movie. Japan had a thing going on too, though. It was warring kingdoms, warring clans, trying to take over Japan and rule it all underneath one banner, essentially. So this is towards the middle end of that era. So we're talking about, they have gunpowder, so that's the thing. They're using guns. They're still, so you have bows, you have guns, you have samurai. You still have all these different things that are clashing at this one point in time. So it's like the end of the samurai era, more going into the modern era, if you will. But they're still samurai. And he's one of them.
So there's guys bringing guns to a wooden sword fight.
Well, guns to a knife fight, essentially. But they weren't very accurate at the time. You needed like a shit ton of them to make it even work. But
early guns probably really sucked.
Well, yeah, they weren't rifled. They were just it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But if you have enough of them though, and you aim them and get a little lucky, you can do some damage with them. So I mean, they were still a factor within war, especially when you think about cannons. I mean, you're firing instead of like me, like, okay, I have a catapult. Okay, now I have a trebuchet. Now I have a fucking thing that fires giant rocks at you, like way faster than we used to, and further than we used to. It did change the way that war was fought at the time. So one of the things that was going on in this era, like I said, the warring states were still going on. We're still trying to figure out who's going to rule Japan, and a lot of people are fucking dying. Like just samurais are dropping like fucking flies. Because of that, you had people that had their own sword schools were very, very, very famous because they wanted to keep the traditions of the samurai alive, want to keep trained, skilled swordsmen alive. And Musashi came out of that era. He's a product of this era. His father, Munasai, was the sword school instructor. He had his own sword school. Munasai's kind of a dick, though, because at the tender age of 10, Musashi's mom dies. And Munasai leaves him. He's like, my mom's dead. That sucks, outie. And then dips. So thankfully, Musashi had an uncle who was at a Buddhist temple. He was able to stay with him, got a little bit older. But he did learn the way of the sword from his dad, though. So he was 10 years old, but he was actually a pretty skilled fighter at the time. He was doing all right. He eventually gets his own sword style of his own. But the real story about Musashi really starts when he's 13. Like I mentioned before, this was a time of war. These people, the samurai dropping like flies. They didn't want to keep just having samurai kill each other. Like, imagine the Wild West with swords. Like, hey, you bought me on the street. Fuck you. Fuck your family. Shame on you. Shame on your cow.
Yeah.
And you're going to fight in the streets. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Murphy once said, like, you slap somebody got to go. It's a duel.
Something's got to happen.
Right.
Somebody got to go.
Somebody got to go.
But wasn't it like not all duels were to the death?
Right, so that's the other part of it too. It had to be agreed on by both parties to have the duel to the death. That also had to be sanctioned by a council to make sure that it was even okay to do, because they were trying to limit the amount of people dying in the streets.
Yeah,
again,
and it was. I think they were like trying to stop like an apprentice fighter from fighting like a fucking, like you had to like work your way up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like it had
you
to
could just
be
go in
evenly
there.
matched.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Musashi at the time, again, being 13 years old, he the first dude he fought was Arima Kembe. Anyways,
Good job.
hey, we're doing it. We're going right into this shit. So like I said, it was his first duel. What happened was Kembe actually had put up a challenge like, hey, anybody want to duel me? The door's open. Blah blah blah. So Musashi was like, I mean, fuck it. He signed up.
How old was this other guy?
He was a grown adult.
He was a grown ass man.
All right.
He was definitely a grown adult.
It's kind of weird back then too, because like I don't think everybody's age was really well documented back then. Like if it wasn't written down somewhere, it's kind of hard to tell.
Well, back then,
Right.
kids weren't really kids; they were just like smaller adults.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. They did have more responsibility. That's for damn sure. So the thing is, now Musashi learned from this fight a lot from this fight. It actually attributes to how he actually acts later on in his life. The strategies he uses later on. One of the things that happened was that this dude treated Musashi like a child, because I mean he was a child. But Musashi was like, dude, I'm a skilled swordsman. I'm just as good as you. I'm better than you. Fuck you.
So 13-year-old waddles up to him.
Well, so he got so angry that Musashi threw him on the floor and beat him with a 6-foot-long staff until he died.
Yeah. Yeah,
God
fucking
damn!
What was that called? Like a quarter staff or something like that? Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
He died of after vomiting blood, apparently. So the legend goes.
Yeah, he beat that.
So he
man
pissed him off so bad that he beat him to death with a 6-foot-long stick. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, that's about right.
Anybody else want to underestimate me?
And they did. So not to ruin the climax of the whole story here, but like Musashi was in 61 duels and didn't lose one.
Jesus.
Yep.
Not once did this man lose. Like now, I want to go into his duels, but we're also going to be talking about the rest of his life too. Like the man was a philosopher. He also was an artist as well. I think he has some paintings. So he lived an interesting life. But I'm going to talk about his duels first, though, because they're way more exciting. So
yeah, there's some crazy ones, man. That's for sure.
So I'm going to go into actually, because like I said before, there was a war going on at the same time too. So the battle of Shigehara. There we go. He fought on the side of the Ashigaka clan against Ieyasu Tokugawa. The problem is that if anybody knows anything about Japanese history, the name Tokugawa is very important because Tokugawa and his clan ruled Japan from 1603 to 1868. It's a long fucking time. His clan ruled because they didn't lose. Well, he kind of had a few L's at the beginning of his career. We can talk about that in a different episode. But anyways, the clan that Togawa fought, or no, I'm sorry, that Musashi fought for, definitely fucking lost. They lost and got slaughtered after that.
I think that was kind of like part of his thing too, because like he was kind of on the losing side a lot.
A lot. Well, in big battles, yes.
Yeah.
He lost every one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, 1-on-1 couldn't stop the man.
Yeah.
Everyone else was just dragging him down.
Yeah.
Literally.
It kind of goes into some of his philosophy, though, man, because the way this guy, his program was completely different than anybody else's. The way he lived his life, the way he approached battles, the respect or the lack of respect he gave people. He just had his own fucking his complete own style, and he applied it to like every aspect of life, and it showed like through and through.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
pretty great.
Relentlessly. Like failure to that man, like meant he was gonna learn a lot. You know,
right, and he learned a lot from this battle because, like I mentioned before, Togawa's clan ended up ruling until 1868. I mean, this dude's clan went from the feudal era to the industrial era and was still in charge of a fucking country. Like, so, anyways, he survived the battle. He also escaped the massacre that happened because Togawa wasn't having that shit. He's like, "Dog, y'all rose up against me, kill them all," and he did. But so, which I was like. And fuck this bitch. Y'all be cool now. I'll see you. See you later, maybe. The next one that because again there were 61 duels. I'm not bringing up all of them. I'm just bringing up the most interesting ones that I found at least. Oh, excuse me, that burger's fighting me back. Anyways, so burgers actually shit. Anyways, so the next one is going to be about three brothers. I'm going to butcher their names, so just be prepared for that.
You've been doing pretty good so
I'm
far.
doing my best. So it's Shijiro Densichiro, and then Mata.
Just say it like that and it'll sound correct.
And I'm going to piss off a whole other country. Anyways. And Mata Shichiro. These were brothers, the Yoshikoda brothers. So there are three dudes. This dude ruins a whole family.
Yeah, he quite literally does.
Ruins an entire clan.
Yeah, like one by one too. Like
literally, it's so bad. I love this story though. Anyways, so the oldest, the ruler of the head of the household, the head of the clan, they did have their own sword school. They had a very prestigious family. They were, they had money, they had lands, they had everything that you would ever really want. And then Musashi's dusty ass came through.
Did you say he was dusty too? Like he didn't wash his clothes?
No. Well, there was a thing about him where he didn't. They said that he didn't bathe because he was worried that somebody might have tried to attack him. Well, this is the reason why. Because
they gonna catch me lacking.
Right. Well, this part of the end of the story is definitely why they didn't want to catch him lacking. So. The duel against Shijiro, the oldest, they did fight with wooden swords. So because again, like Prestigious House, they didn't want to kill the guy who was important. So instead, he broke his arm. Anyways,
so like when you say wooden swords, I can't help it. I know it was probably like this nice, like sharpened whatever, but I can't help but imagine like those shitty ones that you see like in Peter Pan, they're like fighting with a little wooden sword.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No, they're better than that.
That's what I keep imagining in my mind.
If I'm correct, didn't he like put the oldest one, like he beat him so bad that man like joined a monastery?
Yes.
Like after that,
yes, he did.
Like he beat him into Buddhism.
Yes, he did. He really did. He really did, actually. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Became a monk.
Yeah, he just completely...
He abandoned the sword school, he abandoned his lineage, and became a monk.
Damn.
Because he got...
And that was just the first one.
That was the oldest brother. There's more. There's three of these motherfuckers. So, like I said before, like the wooden sword is called a bokken, by the way. Just putting that out there. Bokken. I thought it was Bokudo for some reason. I was way wrong.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
I was wrong, apparently. I don't know. I'm just going off what the internet told me. Anywho, so that's the first brother, the oldest brother. The one who I can't really pronounce his name properly, Densenshiro? Whatever. That dude was the middle brother. So for this one, So remember what I said? I was like, it's so funny to me.
Oh boy.
So from his first battle where he became enraged and then beat the shit out of the dude until he killed him. He learned from that to play with his enemy's emotions, to make them become filled with rage, so that they would lose their composure and he would win. He used that against this dude. So he knew that the middle brother had a really bad anger problem. So he waited. He showed up late to the duel.
Yeah.
He waited in the woods staring at his ass.
Yeah.
Like
2 hours he made him wait.
He made him wait for hours and to fight him. And
So he was just like riling him up.
just waiting for him to just pissed off. So after he saw he was visibly pissed, he came and fought him and killed him.
He gets there, he's like, "What's up, you little bitch?"
Right. Yeah, he fought him. He killed him with a head blow. So the second brother died due to blunt force trauma to the head.
Literally crushed his skull with a
wooden sword. Yep.
Got him.
Yep. Rip. So the third brother, the youngest brother, now head of the family at this point.
Yeah, he's the leader now.
12. He was 12 years old.
Oh no.
Oh, what happens was even worse. So Masashi Shiro was 12, like I said before. Left in charge of the clan. He actually challenged Musashi. So Musashi had tore through his two big brothers, and he's like, "Now I challenge you to a duel, because fuck you."
This is sad.
Oh, it gets worse. So Musashi was like, "Dude, this sounds like a trap. So I'm gonna wait in the woods."
Yeah,
again.
He showed up early instead of showing up late.
Yep, he showed up early.
Okay.
He
This
just
time.
fucked their whole program up.
Yeah.
Yep. So he showed up hours early this time and waited in the woods. And what he noticed was he saw men armed with swords, bows, and rifles were hiding to ambush him. But he got there before them. So he was like, he saw them setting up. He's like, "At least sons of bitches. They gotta call me, catch me lacking."
There was like a cool quote he said too, because like he like ran into them and he was like, "Oh well, I guess I get to fight the four of you." Like
something like that. Yeah.
He was basically like, "Oh, this is nice for me."
Right.
Oh, no.
I thought I was only going to kill one person. I get to kill four now. Like,
Yep.
Y'all want to die? Let's go.
Right. Right. Y'all want this smoke? Should I? Fine then. So he was right. I said he was trapped in the woods. Musashi found the perfect opportunity to charge Masashi Shiro and cut his head off. So he cut the head off of a 12-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Granted,
I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that boy was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
And I mean, when he was 13, he was
He killed somebody.
murking motherfuckers.
This is true.
Yeah, he wasn't fucking around.
So he rushed the kid, cut his head off, and then charged the men that were waiting in ambush for him. So he then he sprung the own ambush. Like, man, I see y'all. Like, so he then charged the men waiting to ambush him, but he drew both of his swords. So typically speaking, you have two different swords. And I really wish I should have looked at the two different blade names because they were about the length of them. There were three different blades. There were actually more than that. There were more than three. Sorry, but there's the main one that they would use on horseback. There's one that you use as you're standing on the ground, and there was a short blade. He drew the medium size and the short one and charged them. He was essentially the first samurai, not really the first samurai, but there might have been one before him. There might have been more before him, but the reason why I say that he was the first to do it was because the first one to document it of using both swords to fight in an engagement like that. What branded off of this was his own sword style. Was what he created after that. So use both swords. So exactly, he was like, "Hey man, like I have two hands, got two swords." I mean, it's more stabby stab. Then he went to stabbing.
It's like nowadays when guys are like, tickets to the gun show. He's like, tickets to the sword show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And you know, he was really tactical too, because like when he would show up to places early, he would always take the high ground and get a good landscape of the whole area. He just had like a good overall understanding of like all the elements you needed to find your battle area, your whole strategy, and then he would play on he was fighting emotions, like, and he was just a master at it.
Wow.
Like, all fucking times. Like you think he'd show up late, he's there early. You think he's gonna charge you, he stays calm. You think he's gonna stay calm, he charges you. Like he was just always like
one step ahead.
Yeah,
exactly. Which is why he went 61-0. So,
yeah.
You know, the last one I'm going to bring up because it's also probably the most infamous one he was in. was against Sasaki Kojiro. So this dude was a legend in Japan. He was a legendary samurai in his own right. He was the Shogun, the leader of the country. The Shogun, being Tokugawa, he was his teacher. He taught the Shogun's people how to fight. He was that good. Like, he was like, dude, the ruler of the country wants you to teach everybody. So you are now the most important person, other than the Shogun, in the country at that point. You have money, you have power, you have lands, you have schools. Everything you ever want, this man had. And he flaunted it too. He knew about it. He was like, man, I'm the shit. Look at my robes, bitch. Look at my swords. You know, he was literally the most flamboyant person you could probably meet about his, but he earned it. You know, he was that good. Yeah. Well, it's like he was just out there boasting for no reason. He actually was that good. The thing is, he was the exact opposite of Musashi. Musashi's ass was dusty. This dude was flossing. It was different. So, because he was the most respected, he probably had all the nice clothes, all the money, all that stuff. He challenged him to a duel. Musashi showed up late.
Disrespected that man right off the jump.
He not only showed up late, but he definitely did not wash his clothes for this fight. He showed up looking ragged, like, on purpose. Yep.
Like, where's Musashi? And they smells it.
Dude, I just imagine, like, he's
like Pigpen. He's got like a cloud flies over him.
Right. I just like imagine like Musashi was like sitting in the woods, like, where is he? And just like sitting there laughing his ass like, look at this dumbass.
He's like taking some mud and he's like
doesn't even know I'm here. Jackass.
Oh shit.
What a fucking loser. Oh man. So like I said, he was late. Sasaki was very, very pissed off. He lost his cool again. So somebody loses cool against Musashi, we know what happens next. He cut his throat. So cool. This duel though was really weird because people watch these things. It was
yeah.
You could be a spectator of these events. It's not
especially this one.
Yeah, it was a big deal, right? Yeah. The thing is, though, the problem that I have with the story is that they don't really. There's artist depictions of it, of course, but the problem is they don't know if they fought with wood swords or actual katana. Yeah, because like I've heard both sides, but then there's also the art piece that shows Musashi wielding both blades against him. Yeah. So I don't know what's true, what's not.
Yeah, because one thing I read was like one of the final like blows that they did, they had both kind of charged each other. Right. And Kojiro swung, missed his head, and actually cuts off a piece of his headband. But Musashi didn't miss. Yeah. And had basically fucking just like crushed his fucking head, like got him with a good ass blow. But that's like one of many stories that are written about how that ended.
Right. Yeah. So I read that he cut his throat. Like they did that. They still ran at each other, and then he cut his throat when they passed. Yeah. And because that scene itself is played out. And even in anime to this day, like, you'll see it in all kind of animation, where two people run at each other and they like pass other, and then one just falls over.
Yeah, and I watched a couple like actual like kendo competitions on YouTube, and holy fuck, do those motherfuckers move fast?
They really do. It's insane,
so goddamn fast. It's just like they'll just be like kind of like standing there, and then like in a second there's like 3 fucking strikes, and it's like it's just like that. Wow. It's just
it's pretty wild. Big, it really is, and because they also taught that at a very young age. Yeah, and they usually stick with it their entire lives. It's incredible to watch. It's very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Is super impressive.
I would be dead as fuck. Give me the gun.
Give me the goddamn gun.
So, as I mentioned before, like he lived. There's many duels that this man fought, and those are just the ones I like to bring up. He lived till 1645. So he lived a decently long life, especially for being a warrior. That's actually pretty damn long. Yeah. So
how old does that make him?
Oh God, I'm not good at math.
What was it? 84 to 65.
84 to 65, or 84 to 1584 to 1645.
Oh shit! So he was 61 years old.
Sure, we'll
go with that.
Yeah, I don't do math.
I think that was real quick. It's 61 or 59, one of those two.
I think it might be 59.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, we're both fucking wrong. We're stupid.
This is why we podcast.
Yeah, here at Required
we
Taste,
don't do math.
we do not do math.
This is not a math podcast.
Right? That'd be weird.
I think there are math podcasts.
Oh,
Probably.
Yeah,
It was 61.
61. Okay, I was right. Yeah, 61.
There's some like dudes sitting in a living room somewhere else, like E equals MC squared.
Yeah, just rocking the shit.
More physics than math, isn't it?
Well, whatever.
Point prove it.
Equals mass times acceleration.
Well, what is there to discuss with math then? I don't know.
I don't know why it's stupid. So anyways, at the ripe old age of 61, he decides to, he knows that his death is near. He can feel the end of his life approaching him, his twilight, if you will. And he retires to a monastery. He goes and lives up in the mountains with some monks. And he writes a book. Mm-hmm. Now, this book I do own. The other books that he wrote, I don't. But the Book of Five Rings is the book that he wrote as he was about to die. It was then translated to us now, so we have it. It's on like Amazon for like $12. Well, if you ever got somewhere to read it, it's only like 200 pages, 230 pages, 230 pages.
Nice.
Yeah, I've actually read it twice. One of the times I actually finished reading, I was reading at the lake house once. Actually, I read it there once. Yeah, it's a long time ago now, but
yeah, rip.
Yep, R.I.P. to that one.
That must have been the book I seen that somebody wrote about him though, because there's like 1,000-page book that goes in like heavy detail.
Well, this one he wrote. This one he did right. There was another one though. He was a busy man.
Yeah, I think this was like a guy later on like who wrote a story about him, and that was the 1,000-page one.
Oh yeah,
like an extreme fucking over all of his battles and all that shit, you know.
Yeah, this one he does like go into his early life a little bit. Mm-hmm. He talks about a few of his duels a little bit. I think he brings up his dad. That's really about it. But so the Book of Five Rings, obviously 5 rings, 5 chapters. The chapters are earth, wind, fire, water, air, and spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was supposed to be the gentleman, the warrior, the farmer, the artisan, and the merchant. So pretty much the 5 major professions or the 5 phases of somebody's life that you can go through. It's more of a book of how do I explain this properly? It's like a book of Bushido.
How to win friends and influence people.
Oh, bother. Which actually, I have that book on my cart because somebody told me to read it. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at that already, but
might be a little dated. But.
You know, but I was told to read that book. It's in my Amazon cart. But anyways, so the Book of Five Rings is actually more about how the Bushido code, the code of the samurai, is actually can attribute to your life to make you not only a better samurai but a better person. So the book itself is actually taught to this day in business school in Japan. Like people are taught this book in order to conduct proper business the Japanese way, or to be successful in business, or to be successful in whatever your life is. This book is there for that. I mean, the dude, again, being as influential as he is, it was described to me like he was the Michael Jordan of the samurai. Everybody knew him, and everybody wanted to be him, except for the dirty part.
When I was
Wash your ass.
Yeah. When I was in college, I took a business writing class, and part of it was like international business and like different ways to conduct business with different cultures.
Oh yeah.
And I remember learning about that like briefly. Like it was briefly brought up when we were talking about like doing business with people from Japan and Asian countries. That's like they had all these different like philosophies and things that would influence the way that you conduct yourself in like a business scenario. Yeah,
I know it's way different. I know a little bit about it, not as much as you do because I didn't take a class for it.
No, I don't know anything about it. Don't misunderstand.
Okay. Fair enough.
Musashi had some. He had morals, and that motherfucker was real adamant about keeping to it. You know, like even the last battle we had with Kojiro, I remember like reading about his wife or alleged wife at the time, like crying, like he's about to get on the boat to go fucking to the place he's gonna fight.
Yeah, they fought on an island. I forgot to mention that part of it. They did fight on an island.
And like before he goes, like his wife's like fucking crying, like basically saying like, just tell me you love me, like I'm your wife. And he kind of gives her like a head nod of approval, you know. And he's like, I love my sword. Love these fucking guys.
You, on the other hand.
Yeah, and then she's like, and me, and he's like,
He's like, yeah.
and then he just fucking takes off. and he actually there's like a part I was reading where he tells her not to cry. He's like, no, don't do that. I gotta go kill somebody. Don't.
It's like you're harshing my vibes.
Yeah, right. I think that's pretty much what he said. That's about it. Actually,
He's like, how about you give me a smile before I go, huh?
What an asshole.
Right, you're over here fucking it up. But that's part of his thing, though, because he was very, very single-minded in his pursuit to be the best fighter. That's all he wanted ever, was to be the best.
He seemed like, I didn't do a whole lot of research, but he seemed very detached from like everything.
That was actually his big thing about it. Like, you had to be detached, like, from everything, really, before going into battle,
Like something about like the only thing that you should be attached to is like your own mind or whatever. Yeah,
even that though, like he was like, I forgot the way it's phrased, like to detach yourself from like anything, any problem that may be going on in his mind. But that's why he lived his lifestyle like that, because he didn't have any of these modern problems that people would have in that scenario, of having a wife or a family or any of that stuff. Like, he didn't give a fuck about none of that shit.
No, I mean, he lived in monasteries, a lot, throughout his life, or in the woods by himself, a lot. So, he was kind of always focused on his craft and his art. So, and again, that goes into business or like whatever you want to. If you have that passion for something in your life, be focused on it, and then fuck everything else. Essentially, so I mean, that's what it's admirable for sure. But you still should wash your ass, though.
Yeah, you should probably take a bath every now and then.
Once or twice, just
every now and then,
No one's gonna sneak up behind you while you're taking a bath. Just
I don't know.
Maybe take a shower instead.
There you go.
How's that?
Do you think anyone tried to sneak behind him and then they got close and they were like, oh, shit.
And then he stabbed him.
Like, damn, Musashi.
And then he stabbed him.
Yeah, that was part of his defense.
And number 58.
You see a guy like sneaking in the woods. He's like, oh my God. What is that?
I think he's already dead, guys.
Oh God! There's like all rumor about that. I hope it's not true, but I mean,
yeah.
I kind of get it though.
It's pretty funny though.
Stab
in the woods.
Number 25.
Like like an assassin shows up and he's sleeping. He's like, oh shit, he's already dead. He's definitely got to be dead.
There's no way.
And then he stabs him. 35.
He just makes a
wakes
check mark
up,
real
rolls
quick.
over.
Oh shit!
Oh God!
So yeah, that was one of the books. I think you were talking about the Dokudo.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to just like fly through some of these real quick because the Dokudo. I think he actually like wrote that on his deathbed, which is really cool. He kind of came up with these 21 principles of how to conduct yourself and live your life, similar to the Book of Five Rings, but this one he kind of broke it down in 21 fucking rules here. So let's go over them real quick. I'm gonna fly through. I'm just gonna kind of read them, and I don't want to try to interpret them too much.
You're fine,
because it's really up to you guys, but they're really fucking good. Number 1, never let yourself be saddened by separation. And that's kind of self-explanatory.
Hence his
wife. Exactly. Number 2, resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. So no bitching. Ain't got time for that. Musashi don't want to hear it. Don't let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love.
Clearly, his wife found out.
He wanted to reiterate this, like, I don't love her.
She's like, do you love me? He just points to the book.
See 1 through 7.
Yeah.
Right? And all things in life have no preferences. Which is like, that one's a little weird for me right there. Because no preference for anything, like don't have a preference to the kind of clothes you wear, if the kind of food you eat, the kind of woman you date. Like he was pretty open to anything.
That must have made his wife feel fantastic.
He said like 1 through 7. He just kind of
and just stares at her like, "How dare you?"
When he's like writing the next rule, he looks at her and he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely one of them."
This bitch.
Musashi, I made rice. And he's like,
I made your favorite. He's like, bitch.
fuck food. Which was one of them, oddly enough.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's the weirdest one, I think.
Number 5, be indifferent to where you live, which basically he meant he didn't give a fuck where he lived. Hence why he slept.
Like I just said, he was in the woods in a monastery. He was out there.
Number 6, don't pursue the pleasure of good food. And I'm not about that one.
I don't like that one either.
Because I pursue that often.
Yeah.
Quite often.
It's one of life's great joys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so part of that, the reason why I was kind of interested in that one, because the samurai did have a certain thing that they ate before battle, which was called onigiri. Oh, okay. So onigiri is a pre-battle snack, quote unquote. Before battle, it was actually it was a rice ball. It was just rice ball, simple,
okay,
super simple. And it would be it can be wrapped in seaweed or stuffed with like a pickled plum, salted fish, or root vegetables. You can find them now fancier than back then, but yeah, it was like a rice ball.
Oh. So they were basically just like carbo loading before
fucking Musashi sushi. That's what
there you go.
Was right there.
You can also eat that. Chili peppers was also common. Which just pissed people off at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's there's a variety of things. I've heard they eat like a different, like a soupy kind of gruel kind of based diet. Food before.
That's what makes me think that, like what you were saying earlier, the reason that he wrote that was because he just never really had any good food.
Yeah, like he never had like a fucking any meat or anything like that.
He's like, don't pursue good food. I've been pursuing it for years. I've never found any.
He looks at his wife. He's like, "Yeah, I've never had good fucking food in my whole goddamn life."
People talk about it all the time. It's bullshit.
Millet is what I'm thinking of.
Okay, millet. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, they just ate rice.
Yeah. And, I've heard that, I mean, a lot of, like, bodybuilders kind of live by that lifestyle. That's, like, it doesn't matter, like, the flavor. That's why it's, like, just, like, a lot of rice and chicken, same meal. Food is fuel. Yeah, exactly. You just need the protein,
Yeah, no,
Boring as fuck.
I can lift very, very heavy things, and I eat tacos. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's, like, the only reason that I've ever exercised. So I can eat more good
tacos, right.
Yeah.
I get it. That's totally a great idea. I back you 100% on that.
All right, number 7, don't hold on to things you no longer need.
Just let's have his wife again, man.
Oh my god!
He said 1 through 7.
Damn.
Like, I want to know, like, he's dying on his deathbed, and his wife is just probably like just gallivanting around, cleaning, cooking, and he's just sitting there in his, taking.
Well, that's the thing. He definitely died alone in a cave. So, like,
gee, I wonder why.
She saw what he was writing. She was like, "Get the fuck out! Get out of here!"
I mean, I can't say he was alone, but he was definitely not with his wife.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, was not with his wife. Probably because of this damn list.
Yeah, she found it one day, and she's like, "Go back to your fucking cave."
What if you wrote like a little like a PS for my dear wife?
No,
dedicated to my dear wife.
You know what's fucked up though about that? Because like the Dokudo translates to the way of walking alone or the way of self-reliance.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
Translates to you don't need no bitch.
Right. I'm a strong, independent samurai. I don't need no bitch.
She had already left him at that point. It's all just spite.
Just mad.
They're gonna read this book for centuries. You fucked up. I'm goddamn Musashi. Who are you? They ain't gonna remember your name.
And we didn't.
Yeah, we literally did. She who will not be named.
She like happily remarried and had a bunch of kids and like lived her life normally, and he's just like scribbling in a cave angrily.
All right, number 8. Don't act following orthodox beliefs. So yeah, he didn't follow nobody's motherfucking religion. None of that shit. He had his own thing, which we already know. Don't collect weapons beyond what it's useful, or beyond what's useful.
You tell that to Ben.
Damn, he would actually have an argument of why everyone would be useful.
Yeah, he would.
So like, I don't think that would work.
Yeah, he would. Number 10. Don't fear death, which obviously he didn't. He's 13 years old, fucking carrying around a wooden sword and beating the fuck out of old men. Didn't give a shit. Yeah. Number 11, don't seek to possess either goods or this word says fiefs, F-I-E-F.
Oh, a fief.
Fief for your old age. So yeah, no collectibles, no trophies, shit like that, you know. Number 12, respect Buddha and the gods without counting on them for help. I actually enjoy that one a lot.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a super good one. Because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's F-I-E-F, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a fief is just is land, a state of land, or
okay.
Yeah.
And I think he came up with that basically before battle. It was often traditional to pray to whatever you believed in, and he did have like I said, he did respect the gods, but he never prayed before battle because he was like, yeah, I don't need them motherfuckers, you know. Like
he's like, they're up there, but they don't give a shit about me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I wonder if he was referring to Christianity at the same time too.
Yeah.
About the Orthodox religion, like, because so I had to look it up because I was pretty sure I was right, but yeah, Christianity made its way to Japan in 1549. So, like,
excuse me, sir. Do you have a moment to speak about our Lord and Savior?
Stab. Number 40.
Oh no, you don't want to.
Honestly, though, like, so it was Saint. I think he became a saint. Francis Xavier. Yeah, Francis Xavier. Yeah, pretty sure Saint Francis. Whatever. Anyways, yeah. So, the first time Christianity came to Japan did not go well for Christians. So, it rarely, if ever, really did go well for Christians when they tried to spread it somewhere new. A lot of people died.
I feel like anybody who tried to go to Japan just ran into a bunch of samurais and got their shit fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, they had before this. Just like another brief history lesson about Japan. Japan actually had a what's the word for it? They didn't trade with anybody. So, like, if you were a foreign ship and tried to dock on Japan's waters,
there's a name for that.
There is a name for it. Can't remember it. If you tried to trade with Japan, they would kill you. And part of that was
so someone comes up, they're like, I have spices. Do you have
yeah, like, so say, like, for example, like, I was in a ship. My ship wrecked off one of the islands of Japan, and I was swimming to shore to get help. They would shoot arrows at you.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
They didn't want no part of nothing. From a white man.
Especially if you didn't know that and you were swimming and you're like, I'm over here. Help! And they're like, yep.
We see you.
Always stay right there.
Don't move.
They had big signs that said private property.
Yeah, something. All right, number 13. You may abandon your body, but you must preserve your honor.
Isolationist. That's the name I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Carry on.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. You may abandon your body, but you must preserve your honor. So that's the reason he lived his lifestyle and why he's been such a this cultural icon of a person, because he lived that fucking lifestyle, and his honor, his legacy will go on to live till fucking this planet gets erased, you know. Number 14, never stray from the way, which was the way of the sword for him.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Yeah, exactly. Which is honestly, like, a lot of, like, now, like, watching, like, Star Wars, like, Jedis are basically, like, based off fucking samurais.
They're space
you know?
samurais.
Yeah. It's like that, like, a lot of, like, the same principles, you know? So that was pretty cool. 15, accept everything the way it is. Which is another thing that's I think is pretty cool.
Don't try to change anything.
Yeah, just, I mean, roll with it or just keep walking, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, don't try to change that, the people around you, your scenario. Because his thing was, like, when he would go to these battles, he realized, like, you can't change the flow of the water. The water flows this way because it's water. You can't change the landscape of the land because it's dirt. Dirt has to be dirt. Like, that's something that was created, and it's not meant for man to manipulate or change, you know.
Imagine bringing him back to life and taking him to, like, the Hoover Dam.
You just start stabbing the fuck out of people.
Well,
what did I goddamn say?
So, and that actually is funny you mentioned that, because that goes into, we're talking about earlier Bruce Lee, obviously, but that was Bruce Lee's thing of his quote about be water.
Yeah.
So empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes a cup. That's the same philosophy. Obviously, one came before the other one.
Yeah,
obviously.
Exactly.
But it's just interesting that right when you said that, my first thought was Bruce Lee's quote about that.
Yeah, going through the list, like I can just think of so many movies, like every one I read that are like have this same principle or have a scene that's related to that. Like the lessons that he has, and it's like it's so fucking amazing because we're talking 1600s. He wrote this shit on his fucking deathbed. Like he was just like, okay, this is fuck my wife. And then he got into the real shit.
Like I just wanted to say first and foremost, fuck that bitch.
Number 0, my wife is an uggo.
All right, number 16. Don't seek pleasure for its own sake.
For what sake
very
do you
stoic,
seek it then? For someone else's sake, or
he just wasn't about like doing things just because it made him feel good. It was only if it benefited him or if it was going to help develop him being a swordsman.
That's like a really long way of saying he never gave his wife an orgasm.
I hope that there was therapy back then for this woman's sake.
She's trying to get some Musashi dick. She's like, Musashi, I'm ready for you. And he's like, No pleasure. Just writes that down. This one I love a lot.
It's just him dunking on his wife.
Okay, number 17 I like a lot because this is basically like saying go with your gut feeling. Do not under any circumstance depend on a partial feeling. So if you're in any way kind of iffy about it, if you're not 100%, don't rely on that. Don't go with that.
I like that one too.
I leave that. I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's.
I try to tell you that shit all the time.
Yeah, I do not. I'm working on it.
Blind son of a bitch.
I shoot from the hip all the time.
Yeah, clearly. No, I think about that whenever I'm like trying to decide on a decently large purchase of something that I want. I'm like, do I really, really, really want this? Like, how badly do I want this? If I don't 100% am sure that I cannot live without this thing, I'm not going to buy it.
Am I going to use this? Is this going to like, I totally get that. Man, these last couple ones are really good. Number 18, think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world.
Oh, I like
that's another one I love.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to really interpret that. Basically saying be humble. Like know that you are a very, very small part in this very, very large universe, and the universe is what's to be respected, not necessarily your own self.
I saw a picture of the Milky Way on like Reddit or something the other day, and there's an arrow, and it said, "You are here crying in the shower before work."
I was wondering where we were going to go with that, and it just landed perfectly. Landed where I did not expect it. I got to appreciate that one.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Number 19, be detached from desire your whole life. That's that was like when he finally had sex with his wife.
Someone find his wife's name. We owe this woman some respect.
Like
no one knows.
That's the issue. Like I wasn't joking about that.
Never wrote her name down.
Man.
Like we don't, because that's why it's always been speculated. Was he actually married or not?
Yeah.
Like
I hope not. I hope he wasn't.
This one right here, just straightforward. Don't regret what you have done. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, none of those. 21. Never be jealous.
Yeah.
And he kind of ends it with a banger at the end. They're super fucking simple, but like
they all hit though.
They hit pretty fucking good, man.
Except for the food one.
Yeah, besides
Except
the
for the food one.
Because you can sit on most of those and just kind of think to yourself for a while and develop your own opinion, and it's really a lot to think about. Truly, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to add one more thing to when he died, because when he died, it was said that in his moment of death, Musashi pulled himself up to one knee, straightened his back, and took a hold of his sword. So he almost died standing up. Like he was on one knee and up holding his sword. He died in that position, mind you. He died.
Damn.
Like that.
Damn.
He just wanted to be uncomfortable as he was dying.
He made everybody else's problem, essentially. Well, after he died, his body was dressed in his full battle armor and his helmet, and he was buried standing up as a samurai.
Wow.
So he actually was buried.
Was that common?
I don't think so.
Could you imagine like going in the cave and finding him, but he's like standing with the sword, but he's dead?
Like,
And someone goes in there like, oh God, get out of here.
He's actually dead this time, guys.
They're like, no, he always smells like that. He's still alive. He's still alive. I know it.
His wife walks in. She's just like, God damn it. Finally.
God
yep,
damn.
that's about right.
That's pretty fucking cool though, man.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. That he was. I mean, I'm not surprised it was buried like that, but the fact that he with his dying breath he grabbed his sword just proves everything there is to prove about the guy.
He loved that sword
more than anybody else.
more than specifically any other one person in his life.
Like at night, he's like holding his sword and he's like, I love you. And his wife's like, I love you too.
What? Oh shit! Because like I'm wondering, I know for currently like in Japan, it's more often than not they're cremated because like you'll have they'll have like a family I guess like a family headstone almost, but they're usually a little bit thinner, like for the family, and like you'll have like a certain spot on there for each family member that's died because they're usually cremated. I mean, Japan's an island and not a very big one, so like you can't really bury everybody.
Not a whole lot of room
to be burying everybody, right? So you know, so but I'm not really sure about back then though. I mean, they had way more space, so but yeah, I'm pretty sure the mountain where he retreated to was still there. You can still go visit it if my memory serves. You can still actually go. I'm pretty sure they carved a statue in there for him if my memory serves. So I'm not looking that up. I'll just go off the top of my head with that one. Yeah. But yeah, you can still go. There's a path to walk to get there. Yeah, it's on the side of a fucking mountain, like I said. So like. It's damn near a cave with some candles and shit. But anyways, yeah, super fucking interesting. He died the way that he lived with a sword in his hand and a lot of bodies.
Yeah, a lot of bodies. A lot of broken bones. And
yeah, that dude just out there fucking up everybody.
Caved-in skulls.
He was throwing swords at people.
Right.
He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a goddamn fuck. Like, that was what we were talking about earlier. Like, somebody finally kind of figures out his fighting style, and they keep his distance, and he's like, surprise, motherfucker, and throws the sword directly, like, direct hit.
Yep.
Can't stop that, man.
He literally did not give a fuck. He wrote a whole book about not giving a fuck.
Oh, yeah. And also, I might have found another good story to talk about Japan on that I forgot about until just now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're going to discuss that after we sign off here and write that one down because we at least got something next.
All right.
Got to keep with this Japan thing here.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah, I like these stories. Yeah, these are.
It's very interesting.
Super fun.
Very, very interesting. But this story, they actually made a movie about it not too long ago. The movie was completely inaccurate, so there's that. But anyways, it's still a good story. It's kind of short, but we're gonna make it work. So we're gonna talk about that after this here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, as always, appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah, this was a good one. I don't even think we have any updates as of lately. We just got
not really. No, I mean, keep watching our Facebook for where the beer's gonna be found at.
Yeah, our beer is in quite a few retailers right now.
Yes, so, it is.
If you guys want to get some Two Blind Mice,
and there can't be much of it left. There's no way there's much of that shit left.
Yeah,
there can't be.
Yeah,
I think
there's no way.
Some places are running out, but it's still available as of this recording. As of right now,
as of the 10th.
But we'll keep posting on our Facebook page and on our Instagram where it's available and where it's not. So
yep. Other than that, I think I mean we have some updates for ourselves, but other than that, we already went over that good stuff. And honestly, keep listening to us, keep sharing us. I mean we're growing so fast.
Yeah.
The last 30 days we've had the most listens in a very long time. So it was very nice to see that. That was all y'all. So we appreciate that. Thanks for giving us the shares and the follows and the ratings. We hope to keep doing this for you guys. I'm losing my voice.
Oh, time to go then.
Yeah, it's late.
Yeah, it's time, man. Yeah, it's about the time. I'm playing video games. I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah, I feel that.
This is past B's bedtime.
Oh, it's way past my bedtime.
She'll be grumpy in the morning. So everybody, on May the 11th.
Yep, be warned.
If somebody dies.
I stab somebody with a wooden sword.
You're playing at work. You're
yeah.
Like, what the hell, Brandon?
And on that note, thank you all again. We'll talk to y'all next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.